Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Orly, and we are here with Tech Tip Podcast. We went between Tech Tip Tuesday, we went through Tech Tip Podcast. It's hard to say in the first place, but what this show is going to be about, it's just going to be little tips to kind of help you. If there's something you're looking to fix in your center, and you don't want to maybe go digging through everything, this is going to be a podcast. After hearing these kind of short podcasts here, it might be able to cover what you're looking to fix or what you're looking to learn. And it's just another way that we're here to help you figure things out. So today I have a very special guest that I'm excited about. And I refer to him as the one and only John Losito. I don't know if you get that a lot, John. Welcome to the show.
You're a funny guy, Orly. You're a funny guy.
So today we're going to talk about something that's new to even me, because, the center I help in, it's actually a string pin center. So I've never had the chance to do this. But today we're going to talk about basically getting new pins and bringing in new pins into your rotation. So John, I know you've probably did this many times, and I know you posted a video the other day that you were about to do it. So first and foremost, I guess, when is the best time to do a pin rotation? How does someone know that it's time?
It's a great question, Orly. Normally, what we do is we look for the life of the pin and see how the pin's surviving. Invariably, pins will wear out. We're talking traditional wood pins, of course. Over time, the bases become brittle and start to chip off. The wood invariably will crack through to the sirloin, usually around the neck. Sometimes you can see it at the base, and you'll know because of the sound that the pin makes. It makes a very different sound than compared to a new pin sound, and then you just can tell if they're cracked. I mean, it sounds like thunder to me in the bowling center when you hear a cracked pin, because if you're in bowling, all the time, you'll hear something like that and think, well, that was odd. What was that? It's a cracked pin.
And I know. So I was told, when you get these pins in, I'm excited to open any new boxes that come in, any new product, and I would be ready to just toss these things in. But I'm told there's a process. So what happens when you get these boxes of pins in your center?
There is. You want to be very careful. I know it's instinctive. It's Christmas morning. You want to open up your toys and start playing with them, but it doesn't quite work like that. There's two parts of it, really. And depending on the time of the year and where you're, geographically located, the pin actually does have to acclimate. It's a part of what the pin manufacturers recommend, is that you usually give them a week, sometimes two, to let them just sit and adapt to the humidity that's in your local facility. Because when the pin's transported, of course, depending on where it's going, the temperature inside the truck might be very, very hot and dry, which will try to pull some of the moisture out of the pin. And you want that moisture basically to kind of come back and allow that pin to return back to normal before you throw it in the machine, because it's kind of in I want to say a fragile state. That's not quite the right word, but it's more susceptible to failure if you don't let it acclimate a little bit. So that's reason number one. But the second reason is the canary test. And most people will say, the canary test, what's that? I started actually as a pin chaser in this industry. Now it's like 40 some odd years ago. So of course I know the back end of the building, and I can be a mechanic if I need to be, but that's not where I'm at obviously today. And one of the things that we've learned is that you basically take one brand new pin after several days of rest in your facility and throw it into the lane, and just let that pin rotate around for about a week or so, and be a part of the play. And what that will do, it's the old analogy of the canary in the coal mine. If there is some component in your pin spotter that is problematic, be it a sharp metal corner on a plow or something in your turn pan, depending on what type of machine you have, those little nicks and or scratches that can get into a pin, it doesn't make sense to take one of your bigger investments, which is pins, and have the pins get, I want to say ruined, have them get scratched up or, marked up early. So the purpose of the canary pin is we let that pin go through and we look for any unusual nicks. Of course, we pull that pin out when we're getting ready to put the new pins in, because that pin is going to go back in. But we will actually inspect the pin to make sure that we don't see any scratches or nicks or anything that might be a telltale sign of something wrong in the either the pin spotter itself or the playing surface. And the playing surface, could be, a loose flat gutter screw or a nail coming out of a kickback or whatever the case might be, is that if we see these, strange marks on a pin, we will actually get in the machine and hold off on possibly putting the pins in that pair until we know we have that problem taken care of. So that's really the key to the whole deal, is making sure you don't, accidentally ruin your investment by putting a brand new pin in a machine that's going to rip it up. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I here's another question I got for you. So I'm like trying to imagine in my head, like, where do all these old pins go? Is there a junkyard? Is there a little pin funeral you hold for the pins that are done? Where do these old pins go?
So we sell them. What we have found is a couple different things. One, sometimes the little small center around us can't afford to buy new pins. So sometimes we'll take a lot. It takes invariably, sometimes 20 pins to make a good set of 10. We might sell them to them cheap. But more normally what happens is one of two things. Either we'll have somebody that wants to use them for target practice. We're here in Nebraska. So, having the ability to shoot a gun at a pin is quite normal. Or the other thing is you can actually use them for firewood around a campfire, but you want to pull the plastic off the pin before you do that, because if you don't, it creates a very toxic smell and or odor that's probably not good for you. Just so you know, because I've seen it done and like, what are you people doing? You want to be kind of careful that way. But that's what will happen. These pins will sit back there, and sometimes high school parents will ask for some for decorations for their kids at their graduation party and stuff, which we donate to. Special Olympics will donate to. Ironically, when I mentioned the shooting thing, the law enforcement agencies, if they would like pins on request, I'm happy to donate to them also. So, we find uses for them. And what we've discovered over time is that by time that we get ready to replace the pins again, we've gotten rid of most of the old ones. It's very, very rare I ever throw an actual pin away into a dumpster because we just don't have room for them.
Well, that's cool. And I apologize for not introducing. I assume everybody knows you, but your response made it seem like maybe not everybody does. So John is the owner of Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, which I've actually had the honor to go to, and it was an amazing center. Like, you would think people maybe walk in and say, "Oh my gosh, kids will have a blast here," but I'm like, I'm an adult, and this place is awesome. I mean, I've always been a big arcade kid, so your arcade, the laser tag, the interactive golf, just everything in that center. Even to your tables in your restaurant that have games on them. Your center is amazing, and I just want you to know that. So
appreciate that.
I appreciate your time today, John, and everyone. You got a little taste of what the show is about. Like I said, if you're going to be changing out your pins for the first time, now you could come, check out our podcast and see weekly what we're talking about. And if you have any questions or maybe topics that you want people to might want us to talk about, you can email me at orivera, that's ORIVERA at cubicaamf.us, and I will definitely reply to your email and try to get that topic talked about. So again, John, I appreciate your time today, and I appreciate everyone listening today.
Anytime, Orly. If there's any other questions you get for me, don't be afraid. Give me a shout.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.